Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Ultimate Nightmares run, where we take the characters that are hardest to beat in the new Nightmare mode, as chosen by you, and try to win with them. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're playing the One-Armed, which is the character I've been asked about the absolute most since Nightmare mode launched. This character is incredibly difficult in Nightmare mode, I think, because only having one weapon, and thus being really bad at protecting yourself, is an incredibly severe penalty for a character to have in a mode where you just need to kill everything really fast. And since One-Armed struggles in the early game, and that's the most difficult point for Nightmare mode, I think this character is very hard. I have a few ideas for how to beat it. We could play Ghost Axe and get a bunch of percent damage and then swap to an AoE weapon. That's what I usually recommend on Danger 5. We could play with Lightning Shiv, or another AoE weapon like the newly buffed Cacti Club or Shuriken, something like that. Both of these received buffs. I could also just go with a really strong weapon like Submachine Gun or Javelin. Or I could go with Shredder and try to swap to a different explosive weapon. Let's start with Shredder, and I'll see how that goes. I've also randomed the map here. We're on the Abyss. Now, using a ranged weapon on the Abyss is definitely harder, because there's a bunch of mechanics that penalize ranged weapons on this map. Nice, got the 56th material there. Let's reroll here, and I'm just going to take 10% damage. On the One-Armed, you'd buy damage at double rate, so you're heavily incentivized to just buy all the damage that you see. I'll take a helmet. I'll ban Boiling Water, because we're going to go with a ranged weapon. I will ban these two items. Insanity is very bad on this character, since, again, you buy damage at double rate, so giving up 6% damage for 6 crit chance is not great. I'll lock Weird Food and ban Alien Worm. Or do I want to buy the Alien Worm because I have a Weird Food? Maybe I'll just leave it in the pool. But I'm rolling because I need to find a Shredder. Okay, good. We did get to upgrade to a level 2 Shredder. I'll lock Head Injury as well because I want to keep increasing my damage. I want to upgrade the Shredder to level 2, of course, but I also really want to find a different weapon. Shredder is a very weak weapon, but the advantage that it has is that it's a ranged explosive weapon, so it makes it moderately likely that you can find a rocket launcher, or even if you're really lucky, a nuclear launcher. Here I'm going to reroll and take 2 ranged damage, and then we'll pick up the Weird Food, and I could reroll. I already have an item locked, and we already have a level 2 weapon. On the One-Armed, you can't upgrade your weapon past level 2 on the first shop, because you can't roll a level 2 weapon. On the second shop here, you can technically roll a level 2 weapon, but it's very unlikely. So rerolling with one item locked, we'd basically be looking at one new item, since we were guaranteed to see 2 weapons there. And they're unlikely to be level 2 Shredders. One disadvantage of the Shredder plan is that usually with explosive weapons, you get the explosive weapon tag, increasing your explosion size. So with the One-Armed, who doesn't benefit from weapon categories at all, you don't get as large of explosions. I'll take 6 max HP here. I definitely want that. I'll buy the Head Injury. I'm going to ban these 2 items. Reroll. I want Penguin. I don't really want Gambling Token. I guess I'll buy the Penguin. We do want to buy Regeneration on this character because... And I'll buy Lumberjack Shirt. We do want to buy Regeneration on this character because Lifesteal is very bad for the One-Armed. You have half as many attacks as a normal character, because you get triple attack speed, but 1/6 of the weapons. So you attack half as frequently. But it's even worse than that, because other characters buy attack speed, which applies to all 6 of their weapons. So you get way fewer attacks than a normal character, and can't really use Lifesteal. Here I'm going to ban Corrupted Shard. I think I want to avoid getting Curse for as long as possible as well. And then I'll lock all of these items because they're very strong. Ouch. Just walked into that attack. So the Shredder's doing okay for now, but I really am going to need to swap to a rocket launcher or something else soon. And I'm going to need some form of non-weapon AoE damage, whether that be Baby with a Beard, whether it be Baby Elephants and Cyberball. With an AoE weapon like this, Scared Sausage is okay, because we can apply fire to a lot of enemies. On the one-armed, you buy damage at double rate, but only have one weapon. So the way to offset that problem is by buying non-weapon sources of damage. I'm just going to take 2 armor here. And then I will buy all of these items and then reroll. I'll definitely take a baby gecko. I'll definitely take a dynamite. And I guess I'll pick up another penguin as well. Dynamite, of course, being just plus 30% damage. Killing that buffing alien on wave 5, very important here. And again, I'm going to avoid getting curse. I just don't think I have the damage to deal with cursed enemies, especially before I get to upgrade to a better weapon, but even at that point, I think we are just going to struggle to kill cursed enemies. So far, this is going okay. If this run doesn't work out, I will swap to maybe a different strategy. We're not making that much money, though. Wave 5 was really bad for income. Alright, I'll take 10 harvesting when it shows up like that. And then here, I will re-roll. Cute Monkey. I'm going to save my last band for a free re-roll. I'll roll again here. I'm not actually sure if Small Fish works with the one-armed damage multiplier. Everything else is doubled, but I don't know if Small Fish is. Do I want an Ugly Tooth? I think not. I think I need to pass on both of these items and look. At this point, I just need to roll for a rocket launcher, basically. And stay away from the anemones and try to take them out slowly with explosive shot. Of course, the pufferfish are very, very dangerous when you're using a ranged weapon. Many people swear by Lightning Shiv on the one-armed. I'm not convinced about it on Nightmare mode because a melee weapon that struggles to kill the enemy you're actually attacking, I think is just going to cause you to take too many hits. But that's also an option. I'll take 4 regen here, and then I'll re-roll. I'll take 15 attack speed. Attack speed is still okay on the one-armed. You still do need to buy more of it. I'll take the metal here and then re-roll. I'll pick up a fertilizer before the coupon because we'll make more money off it that way. And then I'll re-roll again. And I'm still looking for an upgraded weapon. I really need to find that, especially before the Horde wave. But also, wave 9 is what I'm really worried about. Wave 7, like, this wave is going to be tough as well. I'm glad it's a darkness wave, because those are generally much easier than the projectile waves. This wave is tough because it has the healers, and without a high damage weapon yet, trying to kill enemies through constant healing is pretty challenging. And the high health Walrus and Goblin Shark that show up this wave are pretty scary. Alright, gonna try to pick up some materials. Okay, I wasn't able to get too many. Do I take 2 armor or 4 regen here? Let's just keep taking the high level upgrade. So here, I really want the Gentle Alien. I think I can buy it. I think I can get away with 1 more wave before I have to find a weapon. But let's pick up the Hedgehog. Lock Weird Food, and then I'm going to roll. And I'm really looking for... Do I want a Ritual? It is 12% damage. I think I now need to find a rocket launcher or something. So next shop, we're going to hard roll. Because before wave 9 with the Hatchers, I think I need to upgrade my weapon. Otherwise, we won't be able to kill the Hatchers. I mean, even going to a level 3 Shredder would make a pretty big difference, but obviously we're hoping to find a rocket launcher. Or if the game is very kind to us, a nuclear launcher. have to stay down here in the corner. When you're stuck in a corner, try to make sure it's the one opposite on a projectile wave. Even if you're not playing with projectiles on every wave. But when you're stuck in a corner on a projectile wave, try to make sure it's the one on the opposite side from where the projectiles originate. It gives you more time to dodge. Here I'm going to roll. I'm going to look for ranged damage. Buying 6 ranged damage is good. Okay, I'll upgrade my Shredder. Sunken Bell is an interesting emergency option. I could buy that. I could buy the Scared Sausage. I'd need to start building elemental damage for it to do anything. I actually think I'm going to take the Sunken Bell here. I'll leave Weird Food locked. I'll pass on Scared Sausage for now. I'll take a Fertilizer. And I'll roll one more time looking for an upgraded weapon. Getting to the level 3 Shredder definitely helps. Because that gave me enough damage that I could actually kill the Hatcher. Alright, there is a loot alien on the opposite side of the map. If it moves into a bunch of groupings of enemies, I can probably do enough damage to take it out, but I'm getting constantly chased down by the vampire squids there, which are really difficult to deal with. Fortunately, I was able to kill those. I killed a couple more eggs, but there's 2 slashers on the map now, and those are really dangerous. Okay, our Sunken Bell went off and saved me from those. I'm not going to be able to kill the second loot alien. Spyglass, sure, I'll take it. And then here, I'm going to re-roll. And do I just take 3 regeneration here? I think so. Baby Elephant is a non-weapon source of damage. We have no luck currently, but I think I will buy that. I'll ban Snowball here, and then I'll re-roll. And I'll take a Metal. I'll take a Feather. Alien Magic, it hurts my Baby Elephant, but I think I do need it anyways. So let's roll. We'll buy a Lens, and I'll roll one more time because I'm still looking for a weapon upgrade. Bean Teacher, I think, is a good enough economy item that I'll take that as well. Alright, I'm definitely starting to worry because we're going to be going into, like, this wave, there's Hatchers again. It's wave 10. We're going into wave 11, which has a Horde wave with not enough damage to survive easily. I'm going to try to pick up all the materials that I left on the ground last wave. We'll probably leave more on the ground this wave, but at least we can avoid carrying them from wave to wave too many times. I'm glad I did not break that blobfish there. It was kind of standing on top of... Okay, I did break one now. But actually, because those lampreys stacked on top of a bunch of other enemies, we were okay. Can I get this loot alien? Nice, I got it. Still trying to avoid getting Curse in this run. And this... okay, and we left a bunch of materials on the ground, but that was actually a pretty good wave for us. I'm going to recycle the Strange Book here, recycle the toolbox, and then I could take 10 luck to go with my Baby Elephant. I could also just re-roll for a better stat. Let's just re-roll here. Yeah, we'll take 2 armor. I'll roll again. And here I could take 15 luck. I could take 7 crit chance or negative crit. Let's take 15 luck. I'm going to buy these items. Re-roll. Minigun. It has piercing. It's obviously not... it doesn't work that well with the tons of attack speed that we have. But I do think it's a pretty significantly better weapon than our level 3 Shredder. So I think that the minigun is worth taking the audible. I would much prefer to have found a nuclear launcher, obviously, or a rocket launcher. But I think that the minigun is a viable switch here. So if I can survive this wave, then we'll get a decent additional weapon. Now, this wave is already looking pretty dicey. Because right now, these Mantis Shrimp are just absorbing so much of our damage, which just isn't that high. Once more enemies start spawning, it's actually easier to kill high health enemies like that, though, with an explosive weapon, because we'll stack explosions from other things onto them. Alright, my healing and armor is pretty good, at least. So I'm just going to hang out in the corner here, try to tank through, kill the goblin sharks. Those are the main threat to us right now. Grab a couple consumables using our invulnerability frames to not die. And then 5 more seconds. Can we make it? Okay, Sunken Bell went off. 1. Okay, we just barely survived. The Sunken Bell saved me again there, so I'm very happy with that. I'll pick up 3 regen. I'll pick up 6 range damage. That's excellent. I'm going to recycle and buy the minigun. And then I'll pick up Sad Tomato. I'll pick up duct tape, and I'll roll. 4 more range damage on the reinforced seal. I do need... I'll do 1 more reroll here, and I'll lock a metal plate and another spyglass. So the more base damage I get on the minigun, the better, obviously. So we were able to kill the enhanced hatcher. It definitely took longer than I would like. I'm not thinking that the minigun is, you know, the ideal weapon for us here. It does have piercing damage, but the individual damage per shot is low enough that it's not working out great. So it's just not been... It's been better than the Shredder, but it's not been enough of an upgrade over the Shredder. Especially because the Mantis Shrimp kind of hard counter this weapon. But we survived. Okay, 6 more range damage. That helps a lot. Do I take 16% more damage or 15% more attack speed? I guess I'll just take more damage, because I just need as much damage as I can get. I'll buy all of these. I'll re-roll. Sticking with a level... The knot, of course, is a very powerful item. It does cut off one of the major ways that I can upgrade my character, though, by upgrading a weapon here. I think this is a spot where we can't really afford to buy knot. Although it would be very good if we could buy it. If I had a level 4 minigun, I would definitely be buying it. I will take the Scared Sausage now, and then I'm going to re-roll here. Okay, I'll take a minigun. I'll buy Coil. I think the knockback is actually going to be pretty good, and it's worth 10% damage. So hopefully we survive this wave. I did kill that blobfish, and that means I'm probably going to get some curse here. I don't think it's likely that I can avoid getting curse in the later half of this run. The Scared Sausage providing light is surprisingly relevant in this run. I almost never care about that aspect of it, but it's actually kind of nice here. No, the Hatcher got buffed. Gotta kill that before a mini-boss spawns. And try to collect some of the dropped materials here. Alright. I did pick up some curse. I'll take a baby elephant here. Do I just take 2 range damage, or do I roll for something better? I'll just take more flat range damage. We just need as much of that as we can get. Upgrade the minigun. Do I want Coil or Feather? I guess I'll take Coil. It's 10% damage, and the knockback, I think, is actually going to be very relevant. We do 56 damage per shot on the minigun. Level 4 minigun has 75% range damage scaling, which is pretty good. So we'll see whether we can kill the elite quickly enough. This is a Mantis Shrimp wave, and when I get hit, I do get hit very hard. Ouch. Now that I'm using minigun as my weapon, I should also invest in some lifesteal. Because even with only the 1 minigun, the level 4 minigun attacks so fast that lifesteal is going to be a very relevant healing option. Normally very bad for the one-armed, but it's great here. Obviously, we needed to find one other weapon. I am starting to think that the minigun was a better find than I thought it was at first. I think it is performing a little better than an equivalent level rocket launcher would. I'll take the spider. We don't really care about our dodge or harvesting at this point. 24% damage is still a lot. Let's reroll here. I'll take 2 more range damages. Again, need as much of that as possible. Buy all of these things. I could buy the book. We get a slight discount. It gives me 2 elemental damage for my scared sausage, but I think that that's just not a major concern at this point. The ice cube is going to be good, though, and I'll lock a reinforced steel as well. Alright. 70 damage per shot is starting to actually get to be a lot of damage, like enough that we're killing some of these enemies pretty quickly. At this point, if I find a good range upgrade, if I find a good range upgrade, I'll take that as well. Because range is a little better for the one-armed than it is for other characters, and we don't get range from the gun weapon tag. Normally, these guns are balanced around having plus 50 range from the tag. So if I see like a plus 60 range against a bunch of stuff that isn't that relevant, I'll take it. I'm still going to heavily prioritize damage over the range, of course, but... do I just want 2 HP for -3 attack speed for 16? I think that's okay. Here, I'll just take 6 more range damage, and then I'll buy both of these items. I'll reroll, take some armor. I'll pick up some lifesteal, because I... Oh, wait, I have -1 lifesteal. Or -3 lifesteal. I didn't really pay attention to that. I should still get some lifesteal, but maybe buying it at full price there was not good. Okay, broke one of the houses. And we're getting the droolers coming at us. At this point, I'm okay building some curse, I guess. And it's also very difficult to avoid, so I'm just going to focus on getting enough that we might get a cursed item, and just mostly not worry about it. Okay, we got a good cursed item. 34% damage on the Cyclops worm here. I have -8 crit chance, so Tentacle's never going to do anything. I think I need to fix my movement speed, so I will take that. Okay, Baby with a Beard, phenomenal find. It does decrease my range by quite a lot on a weapon that I already said I wanted to increase the range on, but it's still very good. I'll take the bandana as well. Minigun only has -25% piercing damage, so the extra piercing will be good. Plastic explosive would have been pretty nice if we were going with a nuke launcher or rocket launcher build. I actually have 8 engineering for the bottom mine. Do I want that? It's a non-weapon source of damage. And the 50 damage explosions are okay. Because I do have a dynamite, which is currently doing nothing. I think this is now too off-plan, though, and I need to focus on just better stats. One of those better stats is this Ashes. Do I want a weird ghost? I think on Nightmare mode it's just too dangerous. But the Cursed Ashes is an incredible find. Fixes the range that we just talked about wanting. And, of course, gives us a ton of % damage as well. And, yes, it's going to cost me armor. Yes, that's really bad on Nightmare mode, but... it's late enough in the run that it's not going to be that much armor. And the additional damage and the additional range are really, really good. So I'm glad I picked up some curse, because we got a couple really strong cursed items. Also, it's very satisfying just obliterating those lampreys as they spawn, even from the enhanced blobfish. Ouch. Okay, that's a lot of damage. I need to be really careful here. My regeneration is still very bad. No, don't throw this run. It's going so well. Okay. Alright, we survived. I'll take the Vigilante Ring. I'm going to take the Ashes. I think that will actually protect me more, just because the extra range is so important to this character right now. And then I'm going to roll. I'll buy a Cake here for a little bit more damage. The Rat would have been good earlier, but isn't great now. I will take a Bait. I think 16% damage. I think we'll happily survive. Trying to stay inside the ring here, and then we'll just remain motionless and kill the elite at a decent distance so that we're not in danger. Okay, walking into 2 of those attacks was horrible. I now badly need lifesteal, actually, because my healing is not fast enough. My regeneration. And I'm lowering my armor. Playing the last couple waves quite poorly here, I think, just like taking too many hits. So I'm going to focus in the last few waves on just maintaining good spacing from the enemies and not letting too many of the big mini bosses spawn. Obviously leaving a lot of materials on the ground here. Okay, 60% damage. Great, we'll take a Gentle Alien. I will take 2 armor just to offset my armor loss. I'll buy these items. I'll take a small fish here as well, because it'll help me kill the bosses faster. And we'll lock a scope, and then I will re-roll one more time. And I am going to buy these. Even the 1% lifesteal, I think, is going to be pretty relevant here. That was scary. Gonna focus on making very small movements around the map. I'll leave that, the knockback from the coil is doing funny things. And I'll leave the chest up there in case I need a quick heal. I can go grab it as a consumable heal. But I also do need to pick up a bunch of these materials where possible, because this is the last wave. So anything I leave on the ground now, last wave I can spend money. So anything I leave on the ground now, we just lose forever. Okay. I left 78 on the ground. That's actually not the worst. I will... Do I just take 2 range damage, or do I roll with 7 luck? I'm just going to take the 2 range damage here. I'll take 8 more range damage from the scope. I'll take 2 more from the lens. We'll buy fresh meat. I'll roll. Yeah, I'll take 14% damage. I'll roll again. Ooh, the jetpack could have been pretty good here, but actually Ritual is going to be great, because it gets me to 3% lifesteal, which, given how often we're attacking, is actually pretty relevant. Do I want a Gummy Berserker? I think I'd rather have the armor. So I'm just going to roll looking for something that we could buy. Looks like we're not going to find anything. I would have loved to pick up the lure or the tree here, but we'll just roll a little bit more for fun, and then we'll go to wave 20. All right. All right, immediately triggering Sunken Bell there. Walking into that attack is very bad. I need to back off. No. Okay, I killed the enemy. I need to make my way to the red crate and get the full heal. And try to maintain good spacing from the enemy here. Honestly, my movement kind of fell apart at the end of that run. But I did get there. Just had to focus on being, like, very clean and disciplined about it. And we made it. That run was hard. And I have to say that I am surprised that we got there on the first try. I do not think that's actually likely. I think that I got pretty fortunate in this one. I'm looking at my items here, and the minigun was a phenomenal pickup. So I think you are going to be looking to roll into a good high-level weapon in order to get a reliable win with the one-armed here. It doesn't have to be minigun, of course, but something along these lines. Just one of the high-level weapons that can kind of solo the run for you. Minigun, nuclear launcher, obviously a bunch of legendaries, even some melee weapons, like a power fist could be a decent option as well. A sniper gun could probably work if you have enough ranged damage and decent enough range, but the minigun I think was actually a pretty good roll overall. I wasn't enthused about it at first, but it worked out very well because we bought so much flat ranged damage. I also was really impressed with Sunken Bell in this run. This was, I think, the best I've ever seen Sunken Bell be. It saved me, I think, 3 times in that run, which is probably 3 more times than it's ever saved me before. The spyglasses were pretty bad. This is a low economy run, so 227 saved on those. Not great, though the extra range is relevant. The baby elephants were bad. I actually, and so was the scared sausage, even with Ice Cube. I actually think that I was too focused on non-weapon sources of damage, and you just don't have the money to build things like baby elephant or scared sausage or possibly even pets. I'd still have taken a Catling gun and stuff like that if we got it. But I actually think that on this character, those might be traps on Nightmare mode, just from having played this run, and that might be baiting you into buying worse items. I do definitely think that the ranged plan is easier than the Lightning Shiv plan. I think it's probably easier than the Ghost Axe plan, because just from how that run played out, we needed to kill what we were shooting at, and this is the best way to actually do that. Yeah, Scared Sausage was horrible. The coil was pretty good, 10% damage, and the knockback with our minigun was hilarious and very strong. We got a warrior helmet that was critical. 13 armor, I would have liked, 10 more armor, but we were okay here. The lifesteal that I bought at the end, I'm curious how much healing I got from lifesteal, actually. Probably not that much, but we did 83,000 damage with Baby with a Beard. This is the non-weapon source of damage that you're really looking for if you're a ranged character like this. Ashes was great, 60% damage, and the range was very relevant here. Focus, also 60% damage. Finding the bandana, even at the cost of 20% damage, I mean, we had 300%, so it was good. And then I still don't know if Small Fish works with this character, but it was still, I think, right to buy it because it's good against elites. All right, my friends, hope that you've enjoyed this run, and of course, if you have, then feel free to leave a comment and hit that like button. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato, Nightmare Mode, and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.